Hello there, I'm Carrie, and this is a very bad movie on MyTucsonTV 18, all brought to you by Jack in the Box. Tonight, in glorious black and white, it's Phantom from Space. More paranoia resulting in a bad movie about space travel. Well, this time, an alien crashes in Santa Monica. Because really, where else would an alien go? Also tonight, we honor the memory of a late-night movie icon. She's the reason we're all here, after all. Vampira was the original, and we're all just following her lead. We'll learn about Mila Nurmi and her influence from someone who would know. When we come back, until then, a movie Vampira would have loved. Phantom from Space. Hey, it's Carrie from the Very Bad Movie on MyTucsonTV 18. You're watching Phantom from Space. We have a special guest. It's Elske. She's a local horror movie star and a Vampira impersonator. Now, Mila Nurmi, who just passed away last week at the age of 86, is definitely a major player. So tell us a little bit about her.
Well, as you may know, she passed away last week at the age of 86, and a lot of people don't know that Vampira was the original horror movie hostess. A lot of people, you know, my age and younger think that Elvira was the original horror movie hostess. Yeah. That isn't true. In the 50s, Vampira had a show called The Vampira Show, and she was so popular that in a year's time, her show skyrocketed her popularity. Her show only lasted 1 year, unfortunately, but her legacy totally lives on. Her fashion is completely timeless.
Yeah, definitely. So you've got the goth.
Yes.
Which, and that's what's so funny is I didn't even know, because everyone you hear about, you know, Elvira, but to hear about Vampira is like, wow.
No, it was really quite disappointing because when Vampira passed away, I had posted online about it, and so many people wrote me, and they didn't even know she was a real person. Some of them thought she was just a comic book character. And others, I thought I was talking about Elvira. Yeah, so it was just kind of astonishing to me that so many people in our day and age don't remember her, or maybe they're just not given an opportunity, you know?
Yeah.
And basically there's a lot, you know, Vampira owes a lot to history as far as, I don't know if you're familiar with Ed Wood and the Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that was her only film role that she's ever done.
Goodness.
And she did it mute. So we don't even actually have any movie footage of her speaking. The only footage that exists of her is I believe it's a 3-minute clip. It's kind of a commercial that they used to send out to stations to kind of try to
promote the show?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And it's just a 3-minute clip of her, and that's the only footage that they have. The rest of it either got taped over or it was destroyed in a fire.
Oh, so she really made a name for herself throughout all of these troubles she's got going on. So can you tell us a little bit about her influence on you?
Well, I got into the Vampira thing earlier this year because my friend directed a documentary about her, and he had asked me if I would do some public appearances dressed as her. And of course, you know, being such a fan, I agreed. So I ended up performing on stage as Vampira at the Fangoria Weekend of Horrors last year.
How exciting.
It was pretty cool. And then aside from that, I did the hosting, or I was on the Very Bad Movie last year when you interviewed me, and I was dressed as her. So
and that was awesome.
Yeah, so there's 2 times I've dressed as her, and it's just people now associate me with Vampira everywhere I go.
Which is great because you're educating people, because I do think a lot of people tie Elvira into Vampira. So that was great. I learned from you.
Oh, thanks.
All right, we've got more coming up a little later on. Get back to Phantom from Space. Hey there, it's Carrie, the Very Bad Movie. You know, we're watching Phantom from Space. We're here with Elske. Very awesome time we're having. Now, Vampira would have loved this movie.
I haven't seen it, so I can't tell you for sure, but the title sounds like something she would definitely love.
And they're all, man, if you've seen any of our Very Bad Movies, it's so bad you can't take your eyes off of it.
I'm used to bad movies.
They're awesome. So, tell us about this documentary you did.
Well, my friend, his name's Kevin Sean Michaels. He befriended Vampira. She lived in a little apartment in North Hollywood. up until she passed away, obviously.
Oh, okay.
But what happened is he just went over to her house and, you know, knocked on her door because she doesn't have internet, she doesn't have a phone. If you want to get a hold of this lady, you have to go to her house. And
Wow.
talk to her. So that's what he did. He pretty much just went to her house, knocked on her door, and said, hey, we want to make a documentary about you.
Oh, she didn't know him from
No,
oh,
no.
Neat. Very neat.
And so they hit it off really well, and, you know, they made this great documentary it's just available on Amazon.com, I believe. It's called Vampira the Movie, if you're interested in checking it out. It's about 90 minutes, I believe. And it just pretty much delves into, like, you know, how she got her start in Hollywood and the kinds of things that inspired her and, like, why she chose to lead her life the way she did. Because,
Yeah, so
you know,
privately.
she was very, almost like a hermit, you know. She stayed home a lot and didn't really, you know, venture outdoors very much. She was kind of, I guess you'd say, agoraphobic.
Well, yeah, no phone?
Yeah.
No phone? Wow. Very, very cool. Okay, well, Vampira was only on KABC for a year. Still, her influence lives on today. Why?
Well, I think what Vampira really stands out, why she stands out is because she was first of her kind. You know, she was a really independent woman who just kind of came out there in the 50s, of course, which,
Yeah.
you know, back in the 50s, people were a lot more tight and straight edge.
Especially for a female.
So for someone like her to just come out and be like, hey, I'm Vampira, you know, she created her own character, you know, she came up with a name, and to just come out there and be like, hey, world, here I am, and, like, people really did pay attention to her, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, she's just so timeless in her looks, and, you know, that's the really thing about Elvira that dates her is her 80s hairstyle, but the thing
Yes.
about Vampira is, like, her style is timeless. You know, you can't really pinpoint any era to which she would come from, whereas you'd look at Elvira, and she's obviously from the 80s because she has the mullet.
Yes, she does. Big mullet.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. Well, thank you so much, Elske, for coming in. Definitely educating us on Vampira. I didn't
Thank you
know
for
any of
having
this.
me. I'll come back anytime.
Awesome. If it wasn't for her, we would not have the Very Bad Movie, that's for sure.
I believe it.